let's just start with the overall thing here. Are we really cutting child poverty in half with just this one policy?
We can if we're reaching particularly the children who live in deep poverty. As you mentioned, the families who are earning under $13,000 a year. That is the most critical aspect of this policy, is to reach those children because it has the largest marginal benefit in terms of the fully refundable tax credit.
Largest marginal benefit. What does that mean economically? That means the money they use, they'll use all of it, and it will all be used in a way that improves their prosperity and their standard of living?
Yes, and it's also because it is the largest share of people who are particularly very poor. If you're earning $12,000 a year, an additional $3,600 is a huge increase in your income. That's why it lifts these families out of deep poverty. It's so much in proportion to the so little that they're currently earning in income.
And when you talk about these families in deep poverty, there are a couple of things that may apply to them. One is, in many cases, they do not have home computers. In many cases, they do not have broadband internet access. And in many cases, they do not have typical bank accounts. So even simple things like this, having an online portal or sending checks or having direct deposit, still escapes some people.
Yes, it will escape the families who are dealing with homelessness. It will escape the families who can't use anything other than a mobile device. It will also escape the families who are unbanked or underbanked because it might cost them something, for example, to deposit a check as opposed to a mobile payment. So we really do need to understand the context of these families who are living truly at the very, very, very fragments of the American income distribution, who are on the very, very left tail.
And not a lot of Americans who are not anywhere near that left tail understand that this kind of poverty that you're describing is not something that we believe we've got as much of in the United States, but we do. The IRS is obviously trying to do something. The American Relief Bill is trying to do something about this. We've earmarked the money for those who need it most. How do we get that last mile? What does the government need to do to deal with these issues that you just brought up?
The first, I really believe, is expanding mobile payments, because that will reach a lot of these families. They're underbanked, they are typically underhoused, but they also typically have some sort of cell connection, not necessarily Wi-Fi connections, but they are connected via cell phones, and they can do a lot of financial transactions via apps.
And do you get some sense that the IRS is working toward that? I don't think of the IRS as the most tech-savvy, forward-thinking technological organization, but we may need to do it to fix it for these folks as opposed to the rest of us.
Yes, and it's important to understand that this current website for these families who are non-filers is outsourced. It is not done by the IRS in-house. So the distributors that they're using, the contractors, should be able to reach these people, or the IRS should make it a requirement to be able to reach these households.
How do we deal with the other half? Let's say we cut child poverty in half. It's 2021 in America. We're one of the richest countries in the world. I would think that child poverty is low-hanging fruit. It's an easy fix for us. It's not a particularly expensive fix, and as you said, the return is so great when you take people out of deep poverty.
The evidence is absolutely overwhelming that even small investments in children early in their lives, particularly children who are of very limited means, have outsized effects. And the total spending that you have on children over the entire range of particular policies also has outsized effects. One of the biggest effects of it is that the more you spend early in a child's life, the less likely they'll need any assistance later in life.